everybody, this is Michael at RC4WD. Today I wanted to go over with you the new 1985 officially licensed Toyota 4Runner that we released recently. It's a very highly detailed truck. It's the most detailed hard body that we've created. It comes with a ton of really cool features, everything from windshield wipers for the front and to the rear, rubber mirrors we even put little chrome stickers you can put on those things. Some of the coolest things, opening hood with a magnet latch. Both doors open and those have magnet latches too. The rear topper can be removed. There's also a scale roll bar in there that imitates the real truck, and then the tailgate opens as well. So throughout this video I'm going to go over some tips and tricks in assembly that we've come across just to help you guys out. So hopefully it'll help you get this thing built as easily as possible. It's definitely one of the more intricate hard body kits that we have available, just because of the number of parts and the detail and everything that you have to build to make it work properly. The hood on the 4Runner opens using two hinge posts that are attached with brackets underneath the body. Sometimes if you paint this and you put thick paint on here, it may get stuck because of the brackets. They hold that on pretty tightly. So what I would recommend is taping these off when you paint. That way everything is still going to operate smoothly, because you understand paint will get sticky when it's trying to slide back and forth in there. So the hood installs like this, and then underneath there's two little brackets that'll go right here. What you can do, if that feels a little too tight for you, use your driver and just use a quarter turn, and you can loosen those brackets just a tiny bit, and that hood will open nice and smoothly for you. The doors on this are also a very cool scale thing that we added. So they open very far. You can see how far they open. They have a really nice hinge. You can hear how loud they're shutting. That's because of the magnets that we have in these things that hold it shut. So it's really tough in there. You have to build all of the mechanism that is in the hinge in the instructions. It's step 25 to 29 when you put the door together. Make sure you take your time and dry fit everything before you start building these doors. So I'm going to show you up close what these look like installed. So there's two metal brackets here. You have to assemble these to the door, and then the interior panel will go over that. So just pay attention to that. Everything is in the right order. If you do it out of order, you may have to pull it apart. So here's the little brackets outside of being installed. So they're steel brackets. They're going to last forever. They're not going to degrade on you. So the other important part to pay attention to is where these attach is right here. This bracket on the body is a separate piece of plastic, and you have to glue this in place. And what I recommend, and what I found when I've built a few of these in the beginning, was make sure you dry fit these with the door installed. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick and just kind of show you how this operates without any of the interior, so you can get a better look at it. So now that I have this installed, I'm going to try to show you on video how that operates without the door panel installed. So you can see here, it's just two 3mm screws that bolt it to this bulkhead right here, and it opens basically all the way closed. So you'll notice it doesn't close quite all the way, but once you install the magnet, everything will line up perfectly because it just pulls it shut. So the trick to make sure you pay attention to is these bulkheads. There's a left and a right on these. You'll see that they're molded to the shape of the body. If you put them in backwards, it's easy to recognize that they weren't in the correct spot. Dry fit these when you put them in. You can install everything, dry fit it, hold it in place, operate the door with your hand to make sure that everything lines up, because you want to make sure that the door is lined up front to rear in your truck, and make sure these seams are essentially the same distance. So because you can easily, if you don't install one of these screws all the way, it can kind of cockeye the door a little, left or right or up or down. So just make sure you dry fit everything, and when you're confident on how you have everything installed, you can use some 2-part epoxy to glue this in, or the styrene solvent glue. You could use some super glue, CA, but I find over time that stuff degrades, it'll crack, and these bulkheads might actually start coming off. So epoxy is probably your best bet. It's going to give you the most permanent hold on there. So another thing I wanted to talk to you about is you'll notice that the bottom of the truck, you can see a slight warping here. Now that's nothing to really be worried about. It's a technique that we do when things are in manufacturing to make sure that these are going to fit the body well. You may even see slight discoloration here. That's not a weak spot. It's just a spot from when we mold these things. Everything has been taken care of and strengthened after it's been taken out of the mold. So nothing to really concern yourself about. It's something that we had to do to make sure that these were going to fit all of our TF2s without a lot of modification. The removable topper on this, we have noticed that sometimes due to maybe just packaging or sitting in the box for a while, you will notice a slight warp. But as you can see on this, there is no warping at all anymore. Once it's installed, almost everything goes away. And I'll show you how that is basically solved. So once these windows are glued in, any warp that you may notice here goes away. There's no warp anymore. I'm going to try to align it so you can see down the line. So the trick, make sure you glue these in nice and solidly. There are mounting pegs for all the windows, so it holds them in place. They do actually recess into this, so they hold in very sturdy. Take a good bead of the styrene solvent glue and go all the way around the outside and just firmly hold them together for about 30 seconds, and it'll weld those windows right into place so they're not going to pop out on you. And then once you get that done, you can move to the rear window. The rear window does not have the mounting pegs, but it does have a recess all the way around, so it fits in that spot perfectly, and you can use the same styrene solvent glue, just run a small little bead all the way around it and hold it in place, and it'll plastic weld all of that together. So the topper also has these pegs, this 6 pegs. The 2 in the back are where the screws go in, and the 2 in the front are just to hold it together so it aligns to the body well. And the last thing that we did here is we added a little bump right here, so when you install the topper on here, you can't push down on it and it'll stay the same level as the truck. So it's just a little added feature that allows everything to fit nice and flush and stay smooth. So operating the truck without the topper on also looks great, because we included the really cool scale roll bar on the back of this thing and the full interior. You can see all the seats and everything. It's really great. So the tailgate on this is the last thing I'm going to get to as far as some of the cooler features that we offer that is just a bonus for this thing. So one thing that you may see once you build this is the handle that we include when you want to open and close this and the topper's on. Sometimes it closes very firmly. That's because we molded in these 2 little pegs on each side, and you can see that the holes that they fit in right there. In order to get it to maybe open more easily for you, if that's what you want, you can sand these off with a little sandpaper, be very gentle with an X-Acto knife, and that tailgate will open a lot easier if that's something you want. Now, granted, that may cause it to open while you're on the trail or driving around, but I just wanted to give you a little tip to solve that problem if you're having issues opening and closing that tailgate. All right, I hope I've covered everything that you guys may experience with this kit. Hopefully it really helps you get the build done and without having many questions, and really get this awesome truck ready to go, because I know we are all super excited that everyone has these now. Everyone's making them customized. You can see the 2 in the background that we use for a lot of our media, and we basically can't stop staring at those all day long. So if you guys have any questions, you could leave them in the comments. You can contact us at support@rc4wdrive.com. You can go to the website and purchase one of these for yourself. It's part number ZB0167. All right, guys, thanks a lot. We'll see you on the trail.